So for my final reflection, I'm doing it in the format of a video instead of a letter because I recently broke my arm and dislocated my elbow. It was a week ago today actually. And it's my dominant arm, so I can't write. So I'm doing this in a video. But for my reflection letter, I first want to go through how each of the assignments kind of helped to develop my literacy even more, because I think throughout this whole course, I've grown so much as a writer, and as a student. So for the first essay, like I've explained, it was a literacy narrative where we were allowed to just kind of go through and talk about each of the events, people, places, things, anything like that that contributed to our development in literacy. So I chose to do a paper format, and I talked about events chronologically. I talked about my teachers in elementary school, my one teacher, Miss Perry, who was so supportive of my writing because I loved to free write. I was always reading. I always got in trouble for having a book. I just was always geared towards that. I'm very English minded. So I talked about that. I talked about my teacher in 8th grade who was a huge stickler for grammar, but I take her lessons with me everywhere I go. And I talked about being a part of the IB program, which was a great precursor to my experience in English classes in college, because a lot of them are very like research based and also concept based, where it's a lot of trying to figure out not so much what the information says, but why the information says it, and why that information exists, and the whole concept of it. And it focused more on actually, because a lot of school is just getting handed tests and showing what you can memorize. So IB was very focused on understanding the real concepts and the depth of each unit, each subject we studied. So I talked about that all throughout the paper, and I really feel strongly about that paper. I'm very proud of that paper that I wrote.